Morning, top of the morning, back at it again with another one. And today we are looking at the Nasdaq and the ES or the S&P 500. So, obviously, first and foremost, thanks for tuning in. If you've been following, you know exactly what the heck is going on. If not, welcome through to the page. I just share personal setups, insights, and of course, documenting the journey on my way to mastering a few trading concepts, which are popularly known as smart money concepts or ICT trading concepts, whatever name you want to call it. But if you're familiar, that's the logic I'll be implementing or that I make use of with all of my videos. So I was tape reading yesterday, the PM session. As you know, I mostly or yeah, I try to take an AM trade in the Nasdaq and then I look to take a PM trade in the ES. So yesterday, well, on both charts, of course, there was a setup available, and yeah, man, it was just nice to see how it reacted. Of course, it's now 8:20, so let me just see here for NAS. Okay, cool. Of course, um, yeah, we're gonna take a look at the trades or the tape reading yesterday. So I'm gonna take it straight to the M5 on the ES. I'm gonna take it to the M5 on Nasdaq. So what we're looking at is, of course, the 3 p.m. window. So if it was ES, I'll just leave it at that. I'll explain the logic as well. Like I said, it's just a calm, easy setup, really. Nothing too crazy. Come on, Z. I wanna move this eyeball thing. No, the eyeball. Move the eyeball. Thank you. So cool, similar setups and etc. I was more so watching it on the ES, I mean the Nasdaq, and then I went over to ES to watch what was going on. But even here, we had a similar type of a thing. So if you watched yesterday's video, I believe, yes. If you watched yesterday's video, of course, you saw the short we took for the AM session on the Nasdaq. So then after that, the short that was this price movement there that was actually going into stabbing into that level of sell side liquidity, and it also coincides with this run here on the ES. So let me put this on. Cool. You can see that. That's perfect. So ES, of course, we had relative equal lows there. Relative equal low. Price purged down through it during the AM session and then pushed straight up. Then once we pushed up, we of course took out the sell side liquidity, had a market structure shift by taking out that short term high, and price pushed up as or within the price run that took out the sell side. You can see we had that fair value gap open up, went up to the top, and then price. Oh, we also had that nice setup on ES. So buy side got taken out, closed below a low, opened a fair value gap, came up and took the sell. That was the logic or the idea. That's what I had marked out here. So while that was happening, of course, you know the two charts are strongly correlated. I put more weight on this one since if there's a fair value gap that this one is leading off into, it's gonna obviously drag this one along since the Nasdaq is thinner with only 100 companies and the ES has 500, of course. So I was watching it here, but the logic I just explained, where you have buy side or sell side, pierced, breakdown, short term high taken in this case, I mean low. In that case, it was the opposite, etc., etc. And then, as you can see, simply put, the model 2022 by ICT. If you haven't watched that, be sure to check it out on his YouTube channel, or just Google or YouTube ICT 2022 mentorship. That is the strategy that changed my life personally, what I practice every day, and the logic. That helps me capture my trades, of course. So I was watching that happen, and then we had the drop on the NQ. Had that drop on the NQ, same situation for the ES. ES was cool. I just marked it out, just out of curiosity, marked it out, and would you look at that? It played out. Stop loss was, of course, below that order block there. There's 30-point stop loss. My risk reward is it's fixed. I always go for 2R. And as you can see, it pushed up nicely up to the upside and took that out. So same movement on the Nasdaq, of course. It was just interesting to note on Nasdaq. It was quite a hefty move. It was a movement of about 255 if you're targeting that high, or 250. on the ES, of course, it was 60 points. So just good to know that PM, that late afternoon trade coming up, Very, very nice to. Oh, my battery's almost low. Anyway, that's the logic, everybody. I'm a bounce, obviously. I was just wanted to share the setup with the idea. And yeah, man, Godspeed. More videos on the way. It's NFP week. Let's make a killing. Thank God for the skill.